Hello, welcome to Talking Games. Just finished West Ham United 1, Brighton Hove Albion 1 at London Stadium. A late equaliser as Geo Maupay scores an overhead kick. We're here to discuss the highlights, and there's quite a few to get through, including some VAR decisions. But how do you feel, Gonzo, first of all?
Gutted to the goal at the end, but I can't help but feel we brought it on ourselves. Felt like a bit of a one-man team at points during the game with us. I feel it's a fair result. Let's get that right. They had the ball so much, Gio, that we didn't create an awful. I felt like we were relying on the set plays and they were relying on basically clash of styles. We were trying to win the game from set plays. They were trying to win the game from open play. It felt like so. But to be that close towards the end and to concede against 10 men is a bit of a bitter pill, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, it feels a bit crap, really, mate.
I need to calm down a bit. I'm actually angry. I'm angry watching that. I thought we were crap from pretty much start to finish. I thought we were piss poor. I think if anyone's coming away from tonight feeling disappointed, it should be Brighton, to be honest with you. I think they were the better team. I think they were arguably good enough to win the game. If this was a one-off, it would be all right. Wolves was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and say bad day at the office, and I still do think that. But tonight, no, it was like a continuation of the Wolves game. I'm aware we had Man City in a Europa League game in that, but it feels like I've just watched 4 halves of identical football against Wolverhampton and Brighton tonight. And these are the games that Moyes is serious about challenging for the top 4. Then you've got to be getting points in those 2 fixtures. We've got one, but I think we're lucky to have got one, to be honest with you. This is immediately after the full-time whistle. It's not a reflection of the season so far, that, but right now, Gonzo, I'm pissed off because I just thought we were rubbish tonight, to be honest with you. And I think there was 1 or 2 when the lineups come out, we looked at it and you thought, same again. The manager's complaining about certain players and he's playing them once more, and we're getting the same results. I don't know why he was expecting anything different. But anyway, let's get into the game. But tonight, it's just a wasted opportunity tonight. Everything went West Ham's way, bar one VAR call. Everything went West Ham's way. They also had a VAR check, which went in their favour as well. But they had 3 players injured. They finished the game with 10 men. Well, let's get into it. Actually, we almost went and goal down after 2 minutes. Geo Maupay's shot just went wide, but we were ahead after 5 minutes. Gonzo, fantastic corner from Pablo Fernandes, flicked in by Thomas Soucek.
Yeah, and I thought we won the corner well from Ben Rama. I thought forced the corner well. It was a fantastic delivery, by the way. Very poorly defended by Brighton, it has to be said. Don't want to, gloat too much on that one, bearing in mind the final result. But I think if you were a Brighton fan at that point, you'd probably be quite annoyed at your manager because he was quite dismissive of West Ham's threat and West Ham's height, and he didn't pay much a credit to how good we might be in the air, and it looked like from his defensive routines that he didn't pay much credit to it, and it looked like they hadn't been drilled or done any training to combat West Ham. Actually, so we scored a goal with a lovely delivery and a good Soucek header. We got a corner quite quickly afterwards as well. I don't know if you noticed, but Maupay was marking Soucek at the following corner. So Soucek's just scored. They're going to put Maupay on Soucek. So I don't think they learned their lessons from that, and it was, I guess. Well, we know this. I guess I hope this is not going to be a Liverpool performance where we score early in the game and then we just sort of sit back. So that's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant corner. Fernandes is really starting to become a constant threat from corners over on that side. I still remember the first time I seen him take a corner, to my memory. It was actually for Spain, and it was in the Nations League final against Italy, I think it was. But anyway, they needed a goal. It was an absolute peach of a corner. I thought, bloody hell, we don't see that West Ham because Bourne and Cress will take them. And almost since then, we've started seeing Fernandes. I think Moyes was watching that game as well. But his corners have been a constant threat. He scored directly from one not that long ago. It's the same thing again. Get in on the keeper, crowd the goalkeeper, and Fernandes can hit it into that area with pace as well. And if he gets slightly wrong, it's all right. We've almost crowded the 6-yarder. It's on point. Soucek header. We've needed a Soucek goal, actually. I think it's about time we saw one.
Yeah.
And at 5 minutes in, you thought, we'll take that. We'll barely touch the ball. But we're 1-0 up. We'll have a little bit. how did you see the remaining of the first half go, I suppose, Gonzo?
I thought Brighton, Brighton were pressing really well, really pressing us. So we were having to play quite quickly. I thought we surrendered the ball a little bit too much, but I felt the longer the half went on, the less energetic their pressing became. Obviously, they were forced into a couple of substitutions, which they'd rather not have done. So they had a couple of injuries. So I felt the game was playing into our hands. And I actually thought, I know you're angry, and I'm not happy with that. But I can't bring myself to say that the team were crap today, because I thought there were a lot of facets of our game that weren't crap. Where I was worried, well, I think actually we defend. Obviously not the last bit. I think we defended well, and I thought the midfield was good, Geo. So I don't want to say we played crap. I felt it felt like we had a lot of attacks. It felt like that way. We didn't have much possession, but it felt like we attacked a lot. It felt like we got in and around their box quite a lot. I'll have to see the stats. Don't know, but what we weren't is clinical. And so the longer it went on, I think we need to put one of these things away. And there was a couple of things that I was looking at. It felt to me like so I felt we had the same problems that we were having before, and it was worrying me in a half, because I very much thought, and I actually wrote down in my notes, we need a second goal here. As I made a little joke, I was going to bite us in the arse like Lallana, right? And it felt like it just wasn't going to happen. And there were some people that were desperate to do a couple of things. It felt to me like Soufal. I started to think of Soufal's comments after Ben Johnson scored. Soufal was saying, "I've got to score. I'm going to score." And I felt Soufal was trying too hard to score. Having said that, he did put over a lovely cross during the game as well. But I couldn't help but we were almost high five. Well, we were high fiving each other and celebrating every time we were sort of forcing a corner. And I love the corners, and I love what we got in our arsenal at the moment, so to speak. But sometimes Alden you can't keep every time the goalkeeper saves, or a defender gets a block on it, keep celebrating this. At some point, we need to score a goal from open play. So the longer the half went on, there was one point, you'd have seen it yourself, the possession stats were not good at all. You'd have thought we were playing Barcelona under Pep Guardiola, because they had 90% possession and we didn't have much of the game at all.
I think halfway through the first half, we were averaging 1 pass per minute. I think it came up that we'd done 26 passes in 27 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, wow.
It's really low. The first half, believe it or not, come half time, I was content with it. I thought this is how I expected it. Brighton having lots of possession. I didn't expect them to have that much possession, but they had it. Fabianski made a superb save from his former Polish teammate. And I thought I actually quite liked our tactics of shooting from the halfway line. I know it seems a bit silly and we're conceding possession. Fornals then bowling. But I thought it was a clever thing to do, because from then on, you're saying to Sanchez, you need to drop back 10 yards or you're going to stand there. We're going to keep shooting. And eventually one of them is going to hit the back of the net. So what you're doing then, you're forcing the keeper back a little bit, and then you're giving yourself the whole half to aim into for an overhit cross. So you can use the channels and stuff, because you can't when the keeper's on the age 18-yarder. The space is quite small. So you push the goalie back, you increase the space, happy days. So we did that. We took a couple of early long rangers, and then we didn't do any passes over the top of the defence. We didn't utilise the space. It was all a bit silly. And at half time, I thought, all right, okay, we're winning. This is how we expected it to go, but we needed to do something. We didn't have enough of possession. You are going to tire when you're running around after the ball like that. And they didn't deserve to be 1-0 down at half time, but at the same time, it's a bit like the Liverpool game, which is we almost scored too early. Liverpool game, we were scored and we sat back a bit. It was like we didn't get to do our tactics, so we scored so early, the game plan changed. And I was hoping to see a little bit different from us in the second half, but we did it. We just continued and we just kept giving Brighton the ball. And it's not like we couldn't get it off them, and B, when we did get off them, we gave it back to them far too cheap. It wasn't just that Brighton had so much possession, it's we were conceding possession. That was the issue. It wasn't Brighton's percentage that was worrying me. It was how often we were giving it back to them whenever we got it. And it just felt a bit hoofballish to me again, a bit like the Wolves game. Whenever we got it, I just felt it was a little bit hoofy. And I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. I wasn't enjoying watching it. It felt like the Brighton goal was inevitable. I agree with you. We needed a second goal. And the reason I felt that we needed a second goal was because we were playing pretty crap. Simple as that. I think I didn't have confidence in us keeping a clean sheet tonight. I just felt like Brighton were wasting chances as they usually do, but I just felt one of them was going to eventually go in. Granted, if you asked me in the 85th minute, if I expected to go on and win the game, I would have said yes, I expected to, but they got what they deserved. Anyway, 5 minutes into the second half, Gonzo, it was the biggest talking point of the game, arguably. Mikel Antonio / Duffy's own goal thing, VAR. The ball comes in from the corner. There's a bit of a bouncy ping pong. I don't want to say what happens because I want to get your opinion without me saying, well, this happened. So what did you make of it, that VAR decision?
Well, before the VAR decision, I just thought Dawson had handled the ball. I thought they were going to rule it out for handball. As simple as that, really. Then the first thing, the first stage, the VAR, they were going to assess it for a foul on Lallana. Well, okay, well, maybe because that happened before. I thought maybe they'll assess it for the foul, and then they'll get to the handball in a second. And then when I looked at it, I thought, actually, I felt that Lallana probably ran into him as much as anything else. So, but I sort of expected it to be given for the foul because, well, Dawson looks bigger than Lallana, so the fall is always going to be better it's going to look more dramatic. I didn't give that. Oh, okay, I'll deal with that with a handball now. Didn't do a handball. Went for a second foul. Well, they're not doing the handball. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was there. The ball was there, but you see them given. They're given when it's sort of on the sleeve line. So I'm just saying, I first saw that. If I didn't give that, okay, another foul. Didn't give that one well. And then now we're checking for an offside decision. I can't think that Antonio was offside because bearing in mind we've all had to suffer it and watch it for ages. The very last touch seemed to be off the defender's legs. It sort of went for his legs and it sort of grazed. I hate to say, I can't believe this is meant to be football. I can't even. I'm going to say the words I'm about to say now, but it looked like it grazed his sock. And in the rules of the game, then surely Antonio's not offside if Antonio got a touch anyway. But by the time you got to that, look, I just thought, rule it out for the handball. I wouldn't even bloody complain because what I don't want after this game, Geo, is for people to say, oh, the reason we didn't get 3 points was because of that incident. That's not why we didn't get 3 points. We didn't get 3 points tonight because we're not clinical enough and we've got a real problem attacking from open play, which needs addressing. But anyway, that was my take on it.
I think it's the right decision, actually. My issue is different. I think the way I seen it was that Antonio, I think there is a defender in line with Antonio, but the problem is the keeper is the other side of Antonio, and you need two opposition players behind you to be onside. So I don't think Antonio was offside, in my opinion. So I think that was correct. As regards to the whole who touched it last things, as I see it, I could be wrong. As I see it, when Dawson touches it, Antonio's offside. It does hit the defender on the route, but it's like the same phase of play as far as I'm concerned. So I actually thought it was the correct decision in the end. My issue was how bloody long it took to come to that issue. It looked at 3 separate incidents over 3 different minutes in order to rule out thing. And, you know, VAR is supposed to be a clearing for clearing obvious errors. That is not a bloody clearing obvious error. Not a chance at all. You know, the referee looked absolutely confused as to why Brighton players were complaining in the first instance. You could see him looking at them thinking, what are you all complaining about? I don't understand. And the funny thing is, the Brighton players weren't even complaining about the bloody offside. They were arguing the keeper was blocked, which he was, by a Brighton player. So, right call, as far as I'm concerned. But the VAR thing, what a shambles. Anyway, back to West Ham. A couple of good saves. Fabianski made a couple of good saves. Sanchez made a couple of good saves. One from Antonio's header, one from Declan Rice from outside the box. Then it felt like the inevitable, Gonzo. Geo Maupay, 88th minute equalizer.
Good goal, wasn't it? Let's be honest with you. It was a good goal. I mean, you can see what Dawson's trying to do, which is hold him off. I think Dawson probably feels he's bullied him far enough away, but what Dawson doesn't take into account that there might be actually some players who've got a modicum of skill. And he had lots of skill there. I thought it was a really good goal. I really did. It pains me to say it. I think he's an annoying little twat actually, but and you know, his celebration. Anyway, whatever. It's a dive. I don't like him at all. You know this. I say this all the time. He's one of the footballers I actually dislike. But you can't take that away from him. That is a fantastic goal. Really, really good goal. It's our own fault. It's our own fault. It shouldn't have mattered, that goal. I predicted 3-1. It should have been bloody 3-1 because our defence actually, apart from that, our defence played really well all game. Our midfield were excellent as well. And we should have had enough about us in a home game to get up, to get pitch and score 3 goals. It's ridiculous that we can't actually. But you say Fabianski's good saves, and there were some excellent saves from Fabianski. Well done, Fabianski. But actually, it would require things like Ben Rama threw himself in front of the ball twice to block shots. There was a lot of that going on. We were actually, as I looked at it afterwards because I didn't think he fired very. I think we've got the same problems that I discussed before the game. I know there was the assist with Fornals, granted. I know Ben Rama forced the corner, but I still think by and large, the Fornals, Ben Rama, and Antonio were not firing. However, the thing that worried me was that David Moyes might have seen that wonderful defensive display from Fornals and from Ben Rama, really good defensive display from Ben Rama, and David Moyes might think, oh, I like that. I'm having some of that. That'll do for me. Because at the moment, the attacking players are actually defending quite well, but they're not really attacking very well at all. It needs to be sorted out. We can't keep saying it before every game, and it's surely he needs to do something about it. Sorry, I know I've jumped the gun, mate, but there you go.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent goal, to be honest with you, from Neil Maupay. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I don't know if this was the game plan, but as soon as Marcus Straka was on the pitch, if I was Brighton's assistant manager, I'd have said to Graham Potter, just keep going down the right and you'll get something eventually. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. I was concerned as soon as I saw Marcus Straka coming onto the pitch that, oh, bloody hell, don't do this. And the funny thing is, at halftime, I said to Charlie, I hope we've got a plan for when Tariq Lamptey enters the field. I hope we've got a plan for Tariq Lamptey. And I generally, when I was watching, I generally thought, right, Fornals onto Lamptey with Ben Johnson behind him. That should be enough to stop Tariq Lamptey. I'm aware it wasn't him that got the assist, but come down that side. And when I saw Masuaku, I thought, oh no, you're bringing on someone that can't defend to defend. We've just saw against Man City that he cannot defend. We're bringing him on to defend. If you want to go to 5 at the back or whatever, put Diop on and leave Johnson as the left wing back or something. It's no surprise that Brighton's equaliser come down that side. While you say we defended well, I can agree with that to some extent. I think our biggest issue is retaining possession and what we were doing with the ball rather than without it. But it's just frustrating. While we defended, there wasn't really a weak spot for us. Brighton weren't really getting much luck coming down either side of that. But as soon as we put Masuaku on, I think we basically said to Brighton, forget going down our West Ham's right, stay away from Soufal, get down the other side of the park, and you will. They had 10 men as well. That's what makes it even worse. They had 10 men. I think as soon as Lallana went off the pitch for the second time, there was an opportunity there to do another substitution just to shore the game up and say, right, okay, I'm going to put, he might not have had to do, I'm going to put Sonny Perkins on for Antonio, actually get fresh legs up front. So when we do get the ball, we're going to go and get this second killer goal. And I just felt that we bottled it, to be honest with you. I felt Moyes bottled some of the decisions prior to the game starting with the lineup. He's said himself he's not happy with player performances. They continue to start. So I feel like he bottled it to some extent with dropping 1 or 2 of his favourite players. And then the players on the pitch bottled it a bit today against Brighton, against 10 men Brighton. I'm still pissed off. I actually calmed down. I'm getting angry again now because it's such a wasted opportunity tonight. Regardless of who you play in the Premier League, when you play them, they have 2 injuries forced on them in the first half, which means they've got to scupper what they're trying to do. Their game plan's out the window because they've had to make two substitutions due to injury. Your goal up at halftime. They're down to 10 men for the final 5-10 minutes of the game. Anyone against anyone in the Premier League expect a team to take advantage of that situation. We failed. Brighton were good tonight, but I tell you what, we made it relatively easy for them to get that equaliser. And I'm just disappointed because I thought we were past this. I thought this West Ham was past this now. And it just feels like I'm seeing something from a couple of years ago, and I really don't like it at all. Anyway, finished 1-1. What do you make of the game?
I can't really say. I mean, it's frustrating as it is. I know I'm sat here because I'm meant to be able to say something, but I think we believed our own hype, Gio. I think we have bought into this set play West Ham thing too much. I thought we tried to win the game with set plays, and I think, and I do honestly worry that Moyes is pleased with what he saw. He'll be pleased that actually Antonio did cause a bit of a mayhem every time we got a corner. He'll be pleased that Fornals put over a good delivery. He'll be pleased that Ben Rama was there making blocks and interceptions and stuff like this. And I just think the game played out almost a stereotypical type way. So if you were to make a stereotype of West Ham, it'd be, they're the set play kings. And if you were to do a stereotype of Brighton, it'd be, they pass the ball all day long. And I thought the game played out in its stereotyped fashion. And I just worried that we believed our hype too much, really. And that was, that's all right. We'll get our set play goal. We'll head it in the back of the goal. Then we'll sit tight and we'll keep it at 1-0 and that'll all be fine. And it's not fine, and it wasn't fine because you can't keep giving teams all this possession all the time, and you can't keep relying on scoring from set plays because you're going to need to score from open play, and we don't look like scoring from open play at the moment. Not been the case. Sometimes we're quite free-flowing, all right? And there have been times under Moyes, plenty of times, and especially this season as well, where we can score 3 or 4 goals on occasion. Really, real flowing counter-attacks and stuff like that. But we have to move the ball quickly. This is the point here, by the way. When you get a counter-attack, we're too indulgent at the moment. Too many players are taking too many touches and not moving the ball quickly, or their technique's letting them down because you actually need to attack in 3 or 4 passes, and we're not doing that. It's travel, dribble, lose the ball. And it happens all too frequently as well. And as a focal point of the attack, it's just not firing. It's not. Antonio's not firing. Ben Rama's not firing. Fornals is not firing. We got a guy who looks really good every time he comes off the bench. And it's no surprise that throughout that game, our possession stats, that anybody that's in the chat now would have watched that on telly. If you've watched it on telly, you've watched it on Amazon, I'm guessing, unless you're tuning in from another country, right? You've watched it on Amazon. You've seen the Amazon stats flash up all game. You saw it. 82 possession, Brighton. 79% possession, Brighton. All of those. There was no coincidence that once Lanzini had been on that pitch for 5 minutes, the possession stats favoured West Ham. Yes, I know they were down to 10 men a little bit then as well, but we've got a guy who can retain the ball. Retaining the ball is not what we're doing well at the moment at all. And we've got a guy who's doing it, and he should have been starting the last 2 or 3 games. We don't say that in hindsight. We say that having said it every day for the past bloody week. So it's frustrating. But the shameful thing is, Gio, there were actually some good performances. We'll talk. Obviously, we all know who's going to get man of the match. No point of saying it. But I felt Soufal played well today. I thought Zuma played well. I thought Johnson did okay as a left back. I thought Soucek played well. I thought there was enough good performances. If you just sort your possession out, you can do something from within the framework of this team. But sure, it's all right you being angry. I want Moyes to be angry. I want Moyes to be saying, why was this ball keep on coming back? We defend well, we clear the ball. Why is it coming back to us? Why is it coming back? It needs to sort out the possession stuff and how clinical they are.
I think some players have let the fans down tonight, let their teammates down, let the manager down a little bit. But I also think, for the first time in a long time, I think Moyes has got to take some of the blame this evening, to be honest with that team selection, which is the players that have been letting him down for the last few weeks. And people are saying in the comments, yeah, but they've only played poorly for a game or 2, and that's their opinion. But my opinion is Antonio's been crap for quite a few weeks now. My opinion is Ben Rama's been poor for a few weeks now. Fornals has been poor for a few weeks now. They played fantastic against Liverpool in the middle of that.
Yeah,
but that's it. Take that game out of it, and all of a sudden it's a one-off game that they played well in. I actually thought, funny enough, Fornals was doing fine. I was surprised to see Fornals go off. I thought this,
he worked hard.
When you're protecting a lead, I thought he's the type of player you want to leave on. I was surprised to see. I wasn't surprised to see Ben Rama go off, but I thought, why take off Fornals when you got Antonio up front? I thought, why on earth are you leaving him up front, who's done nothing to help West Ham tonight, and you're taking off a guy? Well, like I said, he wasn't a 10 out of 10 Fornals. He wasn't a man of match contender. That he was unlucky with his volley, and I thought he was all right. I thought he looked good. He worked hard. I thought he was keeping their right-hand side quiet enough, helping out Ben Johnson. Lamptey's on. I thought, in terms of our attacking players, that's the guy I want chasing Tariq Lamptey, to be honest with you, to get him. And then we took him off the pitch and put on someone else who's defensive, who's got a massive defensive liability about him. We've seen it literally 3 days ago, and we've seen it again today. And the manager's got to take responsibility for that one. And I know I think Moyes will be angry and stuff, but it's all very well banging the table if against Chelsea you're still going to name Ben Rama, Fornals, Bowen and Antonio in the team, and you probably won't, but it's he's got caught out. Moyes has got caught out a little bit tonight. If he won, I think Moyes would have almost got away with playing the players that he himself has said are out of form. He's continuing to play those players. Now, it might be lack of squad depth, but then I'm sorry, but Lanzini's banging for him. It's not like you've got players on the bench that aren't doing anything. When Lanzini was on the pitch, I thought he looked good tonight again. Lanzini, like you said, retaining the ball, kept the ball, passing it about well. When we needed to take the sting out of the game, Lanzini was the one that was doing all the quick 3-yard passes, saying, here's the ball, give it back to me, I'll have it, right? At one point, he was doing it with Masuaku, got players crowded around him, he just flicked it past him to Masuaku and said, there you go. Masuaku then lost the ball. Granted, he went and won it back straight away, but Lanzini was the one stringing the passes together. As soon as Lanzini got it, Declan Rice ran over to him as if to say, come on then, I'll stand 5 yards away, we'll do the 5 yards passing. Yeah. There wasn't enough of that out there tonight. It was all hoofy. The defense played well defensively, but they conceded possession too easily tonight. I thought Soufal played quite well, and I enjoyed seeing his attacking enthusiasm, if you like, in the final third. Fernand's volley come from Soufal's cross eventually. I thought some players played well tonight, but I do think some players were poor. I thought before the game, I thought Moyes had one up on Potter. It went 1-0 West Ham. 2-0 David Moyes. Tell you what, by the end of the game, I thought it was 3-2 Graham Potter. Everything went wrong for Brighton tonight with the injuries and stuff. Everything went wrong. They still played us off the park and they still got a point, and they're probably walking away disappointed that they've only got a point. Could have probably done enough to win that game, actually. They were by far the better team, and I just think that this is a massive wasted opportunity. And if it was on its own, if we'd beaten Wolves, I'd probably be okay. But we didn't. We lost to Wolves with a very similar performance. We've got a tough game coming up at the weekend. I don't know. Tonight, like I said, we're only discussing tonight on its own, but what a waste opportunity. Individual performers, we've already discussed them, but take a couple more and then we'll...
I like to say Ben Johnson. I think the way he kicks the ball with his weaker foot is really good, actually. And I thought he did a lot of defensive headers. When the ball came over, there was a lot of headers. I think it gives a defensive solidity there, actually in the air, which is actually quite interesting. He ain't going to move Cresswell from that position, but it was nice to see him play on the left as well, and to know that he could do a job in both. Soufal, you're absolutely right. I thought it was a really good performance. He probably keeps the shirt for me on that right side. I have to be honest, but I did enjoy what I saw. From Johnson there. I thought Soucek actually played really well, not just the goal, but defensively he was very good. The headers and the tackling again, and actually a couple of times his passing was really good. Very clever with the ball when he dribbled down the line and won the free kick as well. We're good at that stuff. We know what we do. We know what we're doing with that, winning free kicks, cheeky fouls. We got all that. That's really good. So I thought he was really, really good. You're right about Fornals. I thought Fornals was better. That was Fornals' best game since Liverpool. So it's better than his last two, better than City and better than Wolves. So he was a little bit better. I thought the delivery was really good. He didn't look tired today. Unfortunately, when a game is like that and you need the counter-attack, particularly when the release ball is slow to release a counter-attack, you probably need quick players. And his lack of pace let him down a little bit in terms of counter-attack, but I didn't think he was... I didn't feel that his decision-making was poor, whereas I felt Ben Rama's and Antonio's decision-making was poor today. And Fabianski, some great saves from Fabianski. Really, really good. Turning back Father Time, really, isn't he? So, yeah.
Right, positivities quickly. I thought that was one of Soucek's better games for a long time. These kind of games suit Thomas Soucek, where we don't have possession much, so his main task is the hustle and the bustle and physical side. I thought he was excellent in periods of that game. Really enjoyed his performance. I thought Soufal was good at right back, got forward really well. Zuma was a bit iffy. Some really good moments, but one or two dodgy moments, especially in possession of the ball. He got caught out and stuff. But again, defensively, a strong enough performance from him. I thought Declan Rice is just an unbelievable player at times. And in a game, from a West Ham perspective, lacking so much quality, it is a joy to have someone like him in your team, where actually when he gets the ball, you do get a bit excited. You perk up a little bit. You go, here we go. Finally, somebody that can actually do something here. But we shouldn't be relying on him to be our most creative player. But it generally felt like we were at some point today. It felt like we needed him to score, him to stop them scoring. And he was all over the pitch. And some nice 1-2s with Benrahma and stuff. And when he goes on those runs, the best thing about Declan Rice's runs for me is that he's not going to get tackled. He very rarely loses possession. So when he goes on his little dribble, he usually passes it. He flicks it to someone. It's a safe enough pass, but he moves us up the pitch 20, 30 yards at a time and stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed Declan Rice's performance, and I thought he was really, really good. Saying that, I thought Brighton's centre midfielders put in a decent shift as well and gave us a good game in the middle of the park, despite our centre midfielders coming out with good marks, in my opinion. But Brighton's centre midfields matched us. But I just... The only thing I'll say, I'm only going to slag off one player, if you like, and that's Antonio. I don't think he should have started tonight. At half-time, I thought, give him another 10, 15 minutes, then we're going to have to do something with him here. We gave him another 10, 15, we gave him another 10, 15, and we let him finish the game. And I still don't know why. I don't know if he's injured or if he just can't be arsed or what, but there's something not right with him at the minute. The only time I saw him do something good was a cross. And I don't want to see Antonio doing crosses. He crossed the ball to our striker. He is a striker. He needs to stop going wide. Stay in the box. Stay in the box. Geo Maupay, Mr. Antonio, come here and have a look at Brighton's equalizer. Brighton striker in the box. They've only got 10 men, but he's still in the box looking for the ball. Look at Fornals's shot that hit the bar. Where's Mikel Antonio? He's in the box. He's the one that heads it to Pablo Fornals. Stop going wide. Stop it. He's not good at it. And we're missing him in the box as well. It's like a double blow when Antonio goes wide. I just thought he was poor again tonight, really. Nothing stuck to him at all. He didn't offer us anything. And part of me is thinking we're running him into the ground a little bit. I'm sort of thinking maybe we are asking too much of him, us and Jamaica. And so, but if that's the case, then don't play him. Take him out of the team and protect him. We've almost got a duty of care to Mikel Antonio as well, which is to look after him. So if he's starting, then I'm going to assume he is fit and he is fine to play all these games. Otherwise, Moyes should be doing something else. While the squad depth isn't quite there, I'm sorry, but you've got a £27 million player on the bench that you spent £27 million on. Use him. I know he's not a striker, but get creative. Put Bowen up front or something. Find a system that works. Pep Guardiola has been playing without a striker all season. Now, I know we're not Man City, but that's what good managers do. They work out how to play without people when you don't have people. We didn't have a left back tonight. We started Ben Johnson there. We managed fine. So you worked out what to do without your natural left back. Fine. Well done. Do the same up front, please, because I'm fed up of this Mikel Antonio performances that we're getting. It's not just happened one game, 2 games. It goes back. He's had some good performances in that group of poor games, though, which I think misleads some people personally. But just change something. Even with 10 minutes to go tonight, get him off the pitch and put someone else on. Show Antonio you're not undroppable. Show the fans I am willing to take him off. Because at the moment, I think everybody's in my frustration isn't necessarily just Antonio's performances. It's the fact that he gets away with it. It's the fact that he will start against Chelsea. He will probably play 90 minutes again. That's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. No player should be untouchable. And I don't believe any player is, bar Declan Rice, Thomas Soucek. I think Antonio's in there as well. And I don't think that should be the case. He deserves a lot of leeway. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. But he's running out of coins now. And it's time to almost help him a bit and get him out of the firing line. Anyway, rant over. Sorry, Gonzo. Any final words?
A man of the match. Which, of course, is Declan Rice. And obviously, it's a shame they scored because we didn't get 3 points. Because I was all ready to say it felt unfair at one. It felt like we had just a disadvantage over Brighton because we've got this player who's just so much better than anyone else on the football pitch. Thought the left back was good, by the way, for them. A very good player, really good player. But Declan Rice is a sensation, and we're going to need to be really careful because David Moyes just doesn't risk not qualifying for the top 4, which is his ambition. He's quoted ambition by these performances, and by doing this, he doesn't just risk that. He risks Declan Rice thinking, I can't achieve what I want to achieve here. Because actually he did create a little situation, Rice, where Moyes, he created a little situation at West Ham where Declan Rice might have been able to think, actually, I might be with a club that's going to be going places and going towards the Champions League. He does. He's a professional, Rice. He's a real professional, so he does the job anyway. But you do get the impression when he's doing this job, he's thinking, "Can I have some help here? Can someone help me out here, please?" Because you're right. I think he did like it when Lanzini came on to the pitch, and I felt he did feel that he had a compadre there, if you want. But that's because Lanzini's a quality footballer. If Declan Rice goes to any of these big teams, he's going to be surrounded by other quality footballers, and he's going to get lots of that, and he's going to have a far easier time. So, but I thought he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic today. One of his, it's hard to say one of his best performances. Said so many, but it was vintage top quality 5-star Declan Rice.
Yeah, I actually think tonight we had players that had better games than we did against Wolves, for example. But yeah, I'm a bit more frustrated about tonight's performance. I think it's because of the opportunity that presented itself before us, given Brighton's injuries and the fact that we were leading and stuff like that. And I just think, like I said, I think the manager made a few mistakes tonight, which has contributed to us conceding the equaliser, essentially. And I think with Wolves, I don't think there was enough evidence to some extent to drop Antonio, Benrahma, or Fornals or whatever. But I think since Wolves and then Man City, I think actually there has now been enough stuff there to justify dropping one of those players. And I think that's the frustration for me tonight. It's a missed opportunity. But I think it's also, I think Moyes has got it wrong. I think that's my biggest frustration, if anything, because it's been a while since Moyes has got it wrong, actually. I felt like Moyes has got it wrong. But I think tonight, actually, you've always said Moyes has got his favourites. And while I'm not saying I didn't believe you, I hope that Moyes was willing to push his favourites thing to one side, if you like. I thought, well, I don't know. I'll give Moyes the benefit of the doubt here. But actually tonight, I think you were proven correct. His favourites started and his favourites didn't work out. And I think that's just frustrating. And, you speak about Moyes wanting top 4 football and that. Rice the other day said that he wants to be playing Champions League football. Declan Rice is, he's always spoken about trophies and stuff, but that's almost like a long-term ambition. I think Rice, for the first time, has almost hinted about what his short-term ambition is, which is Champions League football. Whether it's at West Ham or I need to go elsewhere, I want to be playing Champions League football, the trophies will come. And it just feels like every game we don't win, we're almost decreasing our chances of keeping Declan Rice beyond this summer a little bit. And it's going to hurt because, like I said, tonight, poor game, Declan Rice was a highlight. I thought he was fantastic. And when you've got Declan there, you've always got something to look forward to. Even if you're getting beat, you can still look forward to Declan Rice's performance. You take him out of the team. You go back to bland West Ham, which we've had for 2 or 3 seasons at London Stadium, where there's not that much excitement in the team. There's not much to look forward to. Declan Rice is something to look forward to. It's a different style of player altogether, completely. But he's our current Dimitri Payet. He's someone that gets you on the edge of your seat. Someone you're proud to have at West Ham. Someone you look forward to. And we all know how we felt when we lost Dimitri Payet in that period after. There was almost like a period of mourning because there was nothing to look forward to anymore. We're going to have that with Declan if we're not careful. And tonight, I just think, like I said, I thought some players played quite well. Sufal and Soucek, Fabianski, distribution aside, Declan Rice. But those players are being let down by the other half of the team, if you like. And it's not for the first time. And Moyes, I want to see a reaction from Moyes, not just on the cameras, on the pitch against Chelsea on Saturday. I want to see changes, and I want to see Moyes showing a bit of bollocks, to be honest with you, because that's something we didn't do on the pitch tonight. We got bullied a bit by Brighton. That's something I've attributed to West Ham. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I've been ranting enough, Gonzo. Apologies for bending your ear, but not a happy Geo.
Hey, mate, you know what? It's frustrating. It's frustrating to concede late in a game, even more so against 10 men, even more so when you can see it coming. So, I think everyone's as frustrated as each other. And the thing is, we were quite close, weren't we, as well? If we'd have won that game, and we were close to doing so, it all looks pretty good, doesn't it, in terms of the league table, I mean. So he's giving himself more problems than he needs to, but decisions have got to be made. Because I tell you what, if he wants top 4, that team, the composition in which he played it as well, will not get top 4. He's going to, not for a sustained period, he's going to need to shuffle the pack and sort something out in January. That much we know. So yeah, understand.
Right, I'm ready to kick the Christmas tree or something. Anyway, if you somehow listen to me ranting and Gonzo trying to shine a positive light on it, drop a like on the review, subscribe to the channel. Myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.